welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher. So let's jump right into it. We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is going on YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles, and welcome back to another video. Today, I am putting my money where my mouth is. That's right, I have been talking a lot of smack about books we should be buying, and I bought a couple of big boys. That's right. But before we get into the video, like always guys, I'm going to ask you guys, have you been watching my videos and you are not a subscriber yet? Do me a favor, go ahead and click that subscribe button for me. While you're doing that, you might as well smash that like button because it does help the algorithm out. And of course, turn on the notification bell because it lets you guys know when I post new videos. A couple of other things, if you guys haven't checked out my Dark Phoenix review from Diamond Select Toys, do me a favor, stop this video and go check that one out because I am giving that statue away to a member of the channel. With that said, guys, I have a big boy, a couple of big boys in here, but one is bigger than the other. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this thing. I have not bought a ton of stuff lately, but I did do not a live unboxing, but a regular unboxing on my channel last week where I had like 5 or 6 books that I was holding on to that I hadn't opened yet. If you guys haven't checked that video out either, there's some awesome keys that I have been talking about, but I have something huge in this box. Again, these are raw books. You guys know that I have been putting a lot of my efforts into buying raw stuff. I know a lot of you guys out there don't like it. I get a lot of comments daily, a lot of feedback daily, how people are scared to buy raw books. But with all the stuff going on with CGC about them changing, you know, the notes on their labels, I know CBCS is not going to change anything. They're going to keep their standard service the same. Spending a lot of money grading this stuff, buying graded books, you always pay a premium. So I have been going after raw books when I can find them for a good price. Now this one, I got to be honest with you, I paid close to fair market value. Okay, but when you see it, you'll know why. Now I know a lot of people out there will be scared to buy a book like this without being Slab, but I am comfortable because I have bought books from this dealer before, and that they are a dealer. They're an LCS, but they're a rather big LCS. Oh man, I hate unboxing this shit on freaking camera because I can never get these boxes open, but alas, I got it. All right, so I purchased these books from A1 Comics out in California, Sacramento area. If you guys who don't know, they do live shows, I think every Wednesday and Friday on Instagram, and I think they do another one on Thursday on YouTube. So keep that in mind if you ever do want to jump on with them. They're really nice guys. They take a lot of pride in the books they sell. The grading is usually pretty spot on, but so on and so forth. So what I did was I went on their live show like I always do. Either it's on Wednesday or on Friday, and we talk about it. They bring out the books, and they always do like a live, like, you know, preview before the show. And I happened to see a book that I was really interested in. I knew it wasn't going to sell on the live show for the most part because it's a big boy, and a lot of big boys sell raw. And they don't always sell books raw that are big boys. So when I saw it, I sent them a message to say, listen, this is what they were asking for it. I said, this is what I'm willing to do for it. If you guys are interested, I know it's raw. So, you know, grading can be somewhat, it is what it is. So regardless, I happen to think they do a pretty good job. So I asked them about that book and another book. Now, the other book is a lot smaller key, although it is a big boy as well, not as big. But I asked them to do a package deal for both books, knowing that I knew if I bought both of them together that they would give me a good deal. So what I did was I offered, you know, one amount for the both books. They didn't agree to that. They came back with a counter, which I thought was fair. It was still under fair market value, especially for getting a big boy like this. And I accepted, paid them, and it got here, I think, Monday of this week. So we're going to go ahead and check it out. Now, they did send it FedEx ground, which came in actually 2 days, which is awesome. After all that, we finally got it out, and now it's in a nice plastic bag. So we're going to open the bag up now. So we're going to start with a smaller, sorry, inside this bag is another bag. So I got to open that one now. All right, so I got 2 books. We're going to start with the smaller one first, okay? The smaller one is, I don't want to say is a throw-in for me, but a book that I was hunting, but it is really freaking expensive. This book is really expensive, but you can find a complete copy, and I was looking for a copy of this one. Anybody who knows or watches my channel, who gets my newsletter every month, who's a member of the channel, knows that I have been hunting this book right now, and it is a copy of Batman number 181, the first appearance of Poison Ivy. Now, they have this book rated at a 3.5, and gotta be honest with you, this book looks better than that. Just from the glance, and it is, it's in a nice Mylar. I don't want to take it out right now because there is tape on here and I don't want to mess around. But I got to be honest with you, this looks pretty good. I mean, there is some spine wear you could see right along here. Not too much though. You can see the orange on this book is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. They have it graded at a 3.5 and they had it priced at $695. I did not pay that because I got a bundle deal, okay? You could see the colors on this thing are absolutely pop. Unbelievable. This is one of the, there is a date, there is a stamp on here, probably from when it was, printed and distributed out to wherever it was being sold. Beers Book Center. To me, I love date stamps and I love stamps like this because I know where the book has been. It's part of the history of this comic book and I don't mind it at all. Some people hate that stuff and they want a totally blank thing. To me, I think it's part of the history of the book. I love date stamps. I think it's, like I said, a sign of this time when this book was distributed. So to me, it's part, like I said, of the history of this book. Again, this book is beautiful. I'm happy to add this one finally to the collection. Everybody knows I'm hunting the Batman keys. I said it, and that's why this video is titled Putting Money Where My Mouth Is, right? Because I said I was going after them. I said people should buy them, and I think you should, and I have been doing it. The other one, when I saw it, I've been thinking about adding another copy of this book to my collection. I do own one copy already, but it is a very expensive book, a 4-figure book. I paid quite a bit amount of money for it, and people out there would say to me, you're nuts for spending this much amount of money on a raw book. And that may be so, but sometimes you got to take a risk if you want the reward. Regardless, I wanted to add another copy of this book. And again, another book you don't see come up often in the raw form. And when I'm a raw collector, and I do have slabs, you guys see them behind me, but when I'm a raw collector, I go after these if I can find them because eventually you're not going to see these anymore. And I'm kind of torn now about submitting this book because of the price value, but also another reason. Let me show it to you first. But none other, this is a copy of Fantastic Four, number 5, the first appearance of Dr. Doom. Now, we all know he's coming. Eventually, Marvel's going to use this character. It may not be in the next 3 to 4 years. It may be 10 years down the line. I think it's going to be sooner rather than later. This book is going to go up. It's going to double and it's going to triple in price. The way I say this is this. This is the biggest villain in Marvel history, in my opinion. And when you have a giant villain like this, people are going to go after this book. Can you name any other Marvel villain out there where this book is that expensive? I'll wait. Thanos is not an expensive book. What other major villain is a 4-figure book in low grade? Right? Even if we go to Spider-Man's arch nemesis, the Green Goblin, that book in low grade at maximum is about $2,000. And I'm talking about like a 2.0, 2.5, right? It's around that price point. This book, I have no problem telling you how much I paid for this book, okay? Because that's what I like to do on this channel. I paid a total of $8,350 for both of these books together. Now, they have this book rated at a 2.5, okay? Last I checked, a 2.5 last sale for a CGC graded book was $8,000, okay? So I got this book together and that one for $8,350 shipped, which again, I'm paying close to fair market value, but again, it's still under by a little bit. Now, the only defects that I could see, there's some spine wear, which I have no problem at, and there's some creasing here down at this corner. There's some Marvel chipping here on this side as well. Kind of hard to see, but you can kind of see it there. I'm holding the book at an angle so everybody can try to make this stuff out. Other than that, it's a pretty decent copy. A very nice presenting copy of this book. This looks much better than my 2.0 copy on the wall. All right, so this is going to be tough because of the glare, but you can see in my graded copy right here, it's got a nice chunk out of the top of it right here, right? There's some, browning towards the bottom, foxing on the bottom. There's a little bit of marble chipping, not as much as this book. There's a little bit of writing here on the cover. There's definitely, as I get there, you can see the spine wear that's on this book as well, okay? Now look at the colors. Get a good look at the colors of this book. Still pretty good. The grays are grays, except for the bottom where you get a little bit of foxing. But overall, a nice appearing book outside of the writing there. Now, I'm going to show up this book. And granted, this is not in a Mylar, so keep that in mind, okay? This is not in a Mylar. The back looks really good, okay? Back looks really good. I'm going to hold up this book now. So there's no foxing anywhere on the book. There is just a little bit of, like I said, Marvel chipping here on this side, and we have a little bit of dog ear here. But other than that, this book looks pretty goddamn good to me. I think they're spot on about this grading, about a 2.5. I think it's right on the money. I think it keeps from going to a 3.0 because of this dog ear here, but there's an outside possibility. You never know. I have a 2.5 Fantastic Four number 48 that I thought looks like it's a 3.5, but came back from CGC at a CGC from a 2.5. I have no idea. I think they totally undergraded that book. There were no other defects, no other notes that would point me towards why it was a 2.5. But again, I think this is around a 2.5. There's an outside shot of a 3.0, but I really think they got it right at a 2.5. So to me, adding a raw copy for just under fair market value was important, considering where the MCU is going in the future, and this being the biggest, baddest villain in Marvel that there has ever been. There is no other low-grade, four-figure Marvel villain out there, right? All the bigger keys, those four-figure keys are heroes. This is the only villain where it's that much. Even like you go to the Batman ones, forget the original Golden Age ones like the Joker, the Catwoman. That's Batman number 1. That's a 6-figure book, right? Minimum, depending on the grade. So we're talking Marvel. Name me another villain. Am I missing somebody? I don't think so, guys. I think that's it. I mean, this is the biggest villain there is, and for me to get another copy was important because I think it's going to double and triple 20 years down the line. And I'm not I don't buy books and then sell them off in a couple of months for the most part. If I find like a ridiculous deal and I want to flip something, I'll do it. But I'm buying this book as not only as an investment, but an investment for the long term. So even if I overpaid, let's say this book came back at 2.0, and I think the last 2.0 sale, don't hold me to this, was around between $7,000 and $8,000. Okay, let's say it came back at 2.0. In 20 years, you think I'll make my money back? I am, and that's part of the reason why I say to people, well, they say to me, I don't want to buy raw books because I'm afraid that when I do submit it, if I submit it, it's going to come back a lower grade. If you're in the long game, I don't think it matters too much. Again, if you're more comfortable buying a slab, I'm totally fine with that. The way they're going with the notes could be a whole nother issue, but that's for another video, another time. But I always think that if you're willing to put up your money and you can grade and you're comfortable grading, this is the way to go. I'm not sure if I'm going to grade this thing. The only way I might do it is because they just released some awesome new Marvel labels, and Doctor Doom is one of them. So it's really tempting. My slab here, my Doctor Doom slab, has a crack. You can see right here. So I might just resubmit this one and keep this one raw. But regardless, I haven't made that decision yet. But if you are comfortable, these are the keys that if you have the scratch for it, these are the ones I'd be going after, right? Think 20 years down the line. Don't think the next 6 months, because that's not the way to do it, especially not in this market. In 2020, you could have thought next 6 months, what's going to happen? Not anymore. Now, 20 years down the line, 10 years down the line, depending on your age. If you're 20-something years old, think 40 years down the line. You're in a better situation, in my opinion, because these books are never going anywhere. They're not printing any more of these Fantastic Four number 5s or any of these Silver Age books. They're only going to become more expensive as the years and years go down the line. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you think I'm nuts, if you think I did a great job, if there's anything you do different, I always like hearing what you guys have to say. So with that said, this is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.